Good morning, and may the 4th be with you. That's right, I said it. Just a quick good morning before I go get the car from the valet in New Orleans. It is the morning of May 4th. It's 9 o'clock Central Time, which is actually going to put me a little behind. I had an idea about the time I wanted to arrive at my next destination, but I forgot I'm actually crossing back into the Eastern Time Zone today, so I am probably going to be a little bit behind schedule, but that's alright. What we're going to do is, I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't have a schedule, so saying being behind schedule is kind of stupid, but at the same time, I did kind of want to not be there late. But here's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get the car, I'm going to drive out of New Orleans, I'm going to fly north probably fairly quickly because I don't think there's much to see between here and where I'm going. It was going to be Birmingham, Alabama, but I pushed it a little bit further, and now it's going to be just outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee, camping in Georgia. So we're going to do that, and tonight, because I shouldn't have much else to do unless I get to exploring and find something, I think I figured out some of my technical issues with videos, so even though I have 3 days worth of video, I might actually get some of it up tonight and edited and done. Not that it's going to be fancy editing, but you got to chop a few things out, right? So anyway, there's my bag. Here's one last look at my room with my towel hanging. Make sure I got everything. And I do, I think. There are my shoes. Alright, let's go get the car and get on the road. May the 4th be with you. Later. So good morning again on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I'm well out of New Orleans and in Mississippi now at a Love's Travel Center. My favorite place to stop on the road. Pop-Tarts for breakfast, of course. The weather is not cooperating really again. It's not terrible, but still kind of rainy out. There. Do this. There we go. You can see it's still raining. And I hope you can see anything because I'm not using the phone right now for a screen. I'm just kind of sitting here eating my Pop-Tart. Making better time than I thought I would, actually, so that's good. But I lost a little time getting provisions for the day, getting gas. I think I want to stop for a geocache that's up the road. It says difficulty 2, terrain 3, but it's on the side of the road and it's a big one. So we'll go scope it out. If I can get it, I can get it. I don't want to get too wet like I did yesterday. See what we can do about that. For now, I'll finish this and take off. Later. And here we are again. I'm somewhere just north of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And the rain's hitting hard again where it's hard to see. It's actually lightening up a little bit. I tried to get the camera back on while it was heavier. It was heavier than this like 2 minutes ago, and you couldn't see anything. And it all picked up right when I was passing big trucks, so I had their spray to deal with too, so I could see even less. So it would seem, now that I'm out of the desert, Mother Nature wants to challenge me like I forget how to do this. She'd be right. Driving in this rain is something I just don't know. Like I could do it obviously, but man, I don't remember it being this challenging. But that's alright. We're in Alabama. We're driving in the rain. Later. Good evening. Or good night, I should say.
The city.
So it is 10:35 Eastern Standard Time on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you again. Excuse me. I have had quite the afternoon.
You belong to the city.
I passed into the Eastern Time Zone when I hit the Georgia border. I'm in Georgia now, about to cross into Tennessee. Now, tonight was supposed to be a camping night. Had the tent site all reserved up, ready to go. But I wasn't smart enough to check the weather before I left New Orleans. So, as I'm driving, I was back in more really rugged weather. Just rain. And I know I only lived in Las Vegas for a year, a little over a year. And I know I was getting used to being in the desert where it was nice 90% of the time. But man, I'm starting to feel like all it does here is rain. Because that's all I've had for 2 days. A little bit didn't rain, here and there. I got to walk around New Orleans without rain. I got to set up my tent without rain. So let's talk about that. I set up my tent, put on the rain fly. I'm ready to rock. I get in my tent. It starts to rain. Not so bad, not so hard. Then it starts to rain harder and harder and harder. Again, I'll deal with that. The rain fly was doing all right. The tent was doing all right. It was fine. Then the temperature starts to drop. I'm like, oh, all right, fine. So I layer up. I'm wrapped up, doing my thing. As the rain, it sounds like, might slow down for a second. It doesn't. It picks back up. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll deal. Then, as I'm moving around in my tent trying to fall asleep, I feel something with my foot and then realize I now have a soaked foot. One of my seams started to leak. So now I have a little bit of water in the tent. I'm cold. It's raining. I said, screw this. So I packed it up. Left the tent site, started driving. I figure it wasn't that much money, so the loss won't be so bad. And I'll deal with that. But I figure I'll get out on the highway, put a little more distance, into the trip, and just go. Well, as I come to the junction of I-59 and I-24, I come into what looks like the Cross Bronx Expressway at 5 o'clock. It's just gridlocked. And I'm trying to get through it, and now we're down to one lane, so we might start moving. Actually, we are starting to move. So it is, like I said, 10:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As we start to move, I'm going to put some distance on there, maybe find a smaller hotel I can get just a cheap room for the night. I did have a small, contingency budget to deal with if I had to. So I'm going to hammer out some distance. We going to drive. I don't know where I'm stopping or when I'm stopping, but as long as I can get some sleep somewhere, I might be able to push into New Jersey tomorrow. Be on there at Cinco de Mayo. So we'll talk to you soon. I don't know, there might be, if I ever get my editing done, I wanted to edit tonight. I think I figured out some of my technical issues. I was going to edit some tonight in the tent, but I didn't have the real power source because it was raining, so I was stuck in the tent. And it just sucked. It just ruined everything. So that's all right. I don't mind. I can deal with the weather. I can deal with the nighttime driving. We used to drive overnight all the time. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to drive, put together some video. Maybe when I get to New Jersey, when I can have some downtime and I'm spending more than just one night because I do have a few things to do there. So we'll get some video up, baby. Who knows when. And like the video for day one's going to be almost a week after day one even happened. So that should be fun. That's almost like regular reality TV in that case instead of a vlog. Reality TV films for their 3 months or whatever, edits, produces, and then bam, they put them up on, the network. So maybe we'll just turn this into a reality show. Anyway, we're driving. I'll talk to you later.